I'm Rodd Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. There it is, man. Oh, I got to get out of the presentation. I was thinking about presenting again this time, but as you know, it's not very formal either way. I don't know how long I'm going to last with this vest on. It's freaking cold out here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to wearing vests. But no, I don't think so, because with all the lights in here, even it's a cold day, it's like 40 something degrees right now outside. And I was cold. So I'm like, okay, I even wore, I'm not going to show you. I don't know if you guys know this, but like 99% of the time I wear shorts. Back in the machinery business days, I wore slacks, suits. I've got a ton of suits and a ton of dress shirts, which was all cool at the time, but I've always wanted a different style. That's another thing, you know. Here we are, being authentic again. So I came, Barbie and I were producer Barbie and I were just talking on the phone. She's getting quite a fan base. I'm getting a little jealous, to be honest with you. There's a lot more comments about them liking her than them liking me. Of course, the guests are the number one number, and then Barbie, and then I come in somewhere there. And luckily I got a lot of cool people around me, because it's only me. Producer Barbie works around the whole show and even jumps in. So she does a lot. And then we have a couple, I mentioned the name Luca every once in a while. We've got a couple of people that work with us on some of the higher end marketing stuff. Like that intro was actually originally done by them, and I got a little feisty and re-edited it. I think it's really cool. He's like, really? Okay, fine. I think he was a little pissed at me, you know, that I changed his work, but because I always approve him ahead of time. We go back and forth, and then a month later, bam, I kind of mess it all around. I thought it came in good though. So anyway, why am I here today? First of all, I want to make a show, whether we have guests on or not. You know, I was afraid I'd never be able to do this on like a weekly thing. Hey guys, thanks all for coming on. Thank you. I'm getting about this. You guys, the audience, the subscribers have become amazing. I mean, you'll always have been in your world, but I'm starting to get to know some of you, and I see the support, and my God, I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't know how to say that any differently, because I'll show you some analytics. If you read not the instructions, the description, this, I want to just throw out a couple of guests that we have here, and those guests are really dominating the talk, the vibe on this show, which is awesome, because that's exactly what we want and what we need. And I'll get into that in a second. But I just wanted to, I told you, man, it's freaking hot here. I just want to come in and take a pause to enjoy. You know, I'm really getting, I haven't got enough feedback. I mean, the numbers are awesome feedback, but, you know, dedicating every day at 7 a.m. my time, which I would love to do. I don't want to burn out or anything, because I have a guest almost every show. Hey, Jennifer, I think you're new here. Thank you, Jennifer. I can get this whole ball. This is another one. You know, this is like the Friday morning cup of joe I was just talking about. I want to do those. But we also do, you'll see here, we've got, I don't know, half a dozen, and I haven't even booked a couple of others in there yet, as far as shows coming up. And I, you know, I need to kind of make sure that balance, because I'm also starting to be asked to be a guest on other shows, which, oh man, that's cool. I did one last week with Daryl Dittmeyer. He was on the show. Actually, Oh no, he did one show in mine, and then he invited me onto his. Somebody else just invited me. I get a few. Share, she wanted to know if we were ever in Chicago, and so there's some really neat stuff going on. It's all because of you guys, and you're helping us. Jim Carrey. Is it really you, Jim, or is it a really cool name, or what's happening in there? But anyway, back to Jennifer. How did you land such amazing guests? Any topics? Any tips? Sorry. So yeah, I love that question. Oh my God. And it goes right into what we're talking about. So sorry, I just breathed weird there. I'm really, I'm an excitable person, and I'm always excited, but I'm really, really starting to get freaking excited about how the show's going. And again, that's another tease. We'll get to that in a little bit. But as far as how it's kind of rolled out, I talked to you about one of the people that are outside that are on our team that we hire, at a what are they called? Oh my God! It's funny how sometimes I have so much knowledge and so much interest and so much, but while I talk, sometimes I just forget about things. That's wild. I've always been that way though. Horrible with names. Faces, know them inside and out. Names, as Ronaldo will tell you, she's asked me to call her a different name from now on. I butchered it so many times, and that wasn't on purpose. It's just part of my gig, man. So what we got about 50 people on. We're about not quite 7 minutes in, and I haven't said a damn thing. So the tips that I'm going to say is that you got to be authentic. You got to know what your interests are. Like so many times I get smacked back by not only producer Barbie, but a couple of others on the team I was just describing, because if you're an expert to everyone, if you're presenting yourself as an expert to everyone, you're probably not ever going to be able to talk to very many people, because you'll talk to none. The master of everything is the supplier of nothing, and that's kind of our first big step. You gotta really know where you want to go, and I'm going to touch on a little bit of automation here, which we'll get into, with some of the classes and communities and the Morning Joe that we're starting up about AI. But I'm about 15 minutes. Well, that's what my AI told me. So I came in here and kind of got prepped for the thing. But if it goes straight through, we're probably talking 15 minutes. If I have a couple of stumbles, which I have, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this in a minute, then it could be 24, 25 minutes away from an entirely new, a completely additional level on my automation. And the reason I bring that up, Jennifer, is because in that automation, amongst other things, some about it, I've given some, but it's so crazy, man. I just keep adding stuff to it because, if it can do that, and then it can bring that in and support it with this, all of a sudden I've got another chunk of time. Do you hear how calm and relaxed I am right now? Well, other than the hyperactivity, the manic joy that I have more often than not. Sometimes it interferes with sleep, as some of you guys know. Some of you folks know, sorry. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Find out as much about a potential guest as possible. I have what's called a scrubber. You guys have heard me use that name or description before. That scrubber, when I have guests coming on, or somebody's talking about us doing something together, or I'm going on to another show or something, I pull a scrubber, and what it does is it goes out to all publicly available information, company, person, last tweets, last social media interactions, meaning what were those? So you get a feel for like a resume. Everybody's perfect on their resume. That doesn't always work out that way when the resume is presented with you in front of it and trying to justify all the awesomeness that you are. A lot of times, myself included, I mean, we're all in sales, we're promoting ourselves. So there's some bump on it always, but do research. You'll know the real ups or downs or pros or cons of that particular guest and what their history is and all of that stuff. Another, and I think the third, the trifecta of the things I would kind of have you start off, get a little automation in there and do some work or do it yourself. It's a big difference in time savings. And if you're interested in the automation, like I said, we're about ready to roll out our stage 2. We're not going to open the classes till we're at stage 5, but this is a critical stage, this 2 here. So there's been a lot of investment into it, meaning time and so forth. 1 was easy. 3's really easy. I'm actually already most of the way through that. And then 4 and 5, I'm kind of holding off on because the class and the people and the comments are starting to really look for an additional lane to continue down that educational path in their school classroom. And then we have, if you're in that classroom, I don't know how we're gonna do that yet. But in the community that's attached to that, like Morning Joe or whatever I'm going to call that. And by the way, please comment on that too. Do you want to see something every day? Like a everyday 7 o'clock thing? Will enough people come on to, because I mean, there's great ideas that come out of those things about the show. Jennifer, one way to have that ability to attract and look for and find, I mean, we have amazing guests. I'm nothing special. So most of them have come and looked for us, but we're also with some marketing building upon that. I think I talked that one out, right? Jennifer, if that was too much, that was, it's 13 minutes now. So that was almost a 7-minute answer. I'm really good at long answers, as all you folks know by now. So Jim Carey, I've seen you on here before, Jim. No, that's not a current picture of Mr. Carey there. Fascinating dude, though, by the way. I don't know if you guys listen to, Jim, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit here. I don't know if you guys follow some of the personal parts of actors that have had influence on our society and entertained us over the years. But every once in a while, one floats through, and been listening to a lot about Jim Carey, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't know that. I'm quite sure he's still alive, but for some reason, I'm not positive of that. But anyway, I've been watching a lot of stuff he's been talking about, and that's a deep dude. I mean, his roles are always goofy, but that dude is a deep dude. So hats off, brother. Anyway, Jim Carey, which upcoming guest do you think will surprise you the most? Woo, that's a good question. It's now the time. We got 3 or 4 more. How did you manage to gain 428 subs in 28 days? No, we did like double that. That was 7 days. If you're looking in the description of this, unless I typed it wrong, that's 7 days. I think we got 8,000 subscribers. We started getting subscribers right after September, our first live episode. And then they started looking at also the clips, the shorts, the marketing stuff we do. And we got more, But yeah, I don't think we've had, let's see, 426. That would be in 28 days. So would that be like, that'd be like 20 a day? Okay, maybe. No, you know what? That might be right. Because we are getting, I mean, literally, I was talking to producer Barbie over the weekend, and I was saying, for the last 5 days, I think it was 5 days, every hour somebody was subscribing. I mean, throughout the night, we have people, as you know, from all over the world. I'll show you a short here in a little bit, but this one lady, I don't know what the connection is, but she's got like 2,000 views in it's the last one we did. Like, I think it's like a day or two old. Now it's a short, so it's a teaser for the upcoming event. But I mean, we're getting thousands of views on those now within, a very short amount of time. But we just uploaded that, and she's got like almost I think it's 1671. It changes right. But here's the funny thing. We're an American-based organization, language, all the rest of that. The great middle class is for the world, but that's only as an extension, because I know from comments, the rest of the world is an extension of us, and how we roll, they roll, or they fight us. We're holding steady here at 50. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Really want to start bucking this thing up. So let's go back and see who we think. Let me put this right here. Nope, not that. I think I started this off. I said I'm going to start being a lot more professional in my presentation. As a matter of fact, one of the people, as a matter of fact, Ronaldo's there. She and others have made a comment. I know they know I like shooting off the hip. But producer Barbie's chiming in. AI is our tool for matching. Yeah, I was kind of getting into that. Thank you. Oh, whoa, look at that. Barbie comes on. Producer Barbie comes on. Rolanda comes on. All of a sudden, we're at 100. Thank you, guys. And the most dedicated people to your guys' information being complete, I and on track, and as accurate as I can make it, but I don't make any things that I don't know, except to screw around with the experts who know. So that's kind of how we roll, right? So who's gonna I'll get back to you guys here in a second. I want to give Mr. Jim here his fair due. So let's talk about it. Who is going to surprise me the most? This one actually right here, Michael Dorfman. All these are on our upcoming shows. And again, I've got like 3 or 4 or 5 more that are you guys seeing this? I don't know that you're seeing this, are you? Oh, I'm just talking about it. Never mind. So we've got, no, I should probably present this. Let's do that. So let's go back here. I'm going to go to my you guys, my peeps, my folks, my guys, my gals, my awesome people. Yeah, just keep it up, man. We really need to get over that. We're over 8,000 subscribers now. And like you said, we're getting, and I'll get to that question here in a little bit, but we're getting every day a lot of subscribers. So you guys are obviously passing around, and I know I do a lot of marketing, but I'm gonna just love the hell out of you guys for the rest of my life. Let's do this. Let's go here. Again, should have had all this set up already, but the show's only going to get better. And if you guys are already into what we're doing, then just wait till it actually has some style and flow to it. As you all know, I'll go here and then, oh wait, I need to talk about that. And then that sets up this. So And there's quite a few repeats, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Oh, by the way, if anybody, I just want to warn you, I have a chair here that we started out with in the small studio, the original studio when we're just filming insights, industry leaders kind of thing. And then we've now that's been pulled into and absorbed into independent media source, meaning IMS, Insights and Straight Talk. And one of the channels or playlists is Industry Leaders. You'll see it. I've got a whole nother YouTube. I've got to bring a bunch of videos over because a lot of them are instructional. How to train this, how to do that. Here's how you measure a screw, for instance. But anyway, I got to build that out more. So I'm still working on that. So where I was who is going to be the most surprising guests coming up in the show? I've had a lot of, I've had a lot of surprises to guess. To be honest with you, I've known Janelle, the singer-songwriter. I've known her for 20 years. And to be honest with you, I had no idea about a third of that stuff was her drive. And it was a political thing. It was about people coming together, I'm really using that a lot, which is our mantra, our message, our driving force is bringing all the great middle class together. Because like she said, and we say, get to know your neighbors. Because I swear to God, they're exactly like, if you have kids and they have kids and blah, 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 their needs and wants are exactly like yours. Or if you're, whatever the situation is, we don't have to be the same person or, skin color or ethnic background. But what we do owe our neighborhood is to know our neighbors. And we talk about say hi and, to somebody every day and so forth and so on. Let's it's for real, man. I mean, let's do it. I mean, honestly, that's now in style. I mean, that sounds funny, but it is. So here we go. Let's share this screen. Can I make this bigger? I don't know if I can make that bigger. Is there another way around? Yeah, there's another way around. I'm going to be the small one. There we can see it. So right there, Michael Dorfman. He's going to be an interesting cat, to be honest with you. He's talking about how this show started out. Not about this show, but if you look there, and I wish it was bigger. I don't know how yet to, if I even can make that bigger. Got 113 people in there. Hang on. I'm getting to some of my points now. Hold on. So Michael Dorfman is a government analyst and a provider of, let's call it ill doings, trickery and backdoor deals of, all the things we all know about, but never talk about. It's always, well, the Republicans are this crappy set of descriptions and the liberals are this crappy set of descriptions, deplorables, right? I'm a deplorable. I mean, it's brutal now. I mean, even our politicians, they don't hide it anymore. They just call us dumb shits, basically. We're not worthy of their level. And that's the thing that really, really most pisses me off about the way our politics has gone. The reason I say that is because, well, you know exactly the reason I say that. I mean, we hire these people. We evaluate, compare what their message is, what they're running on, compared to what we need in their covered area. All they are is district managers, man. I mean, the president has got a really big district, and that district has a lot of side shoots, like Saudi Arabia, like the Middle East, all the Middle East, Southeast Asia. He's got a lot of shit to do, and he gets help by his other department managers. Now, those so we're the consumer. Let's put that in this way. We're the consumer. And the problem is we're just going out and buying whatever the hell's in front of us. If it's colored red, we buy that if that's our thing. If it's colored blue, we buy that if that's our thing. And you know what? Everybody doing that, and I'm not pointing out there. I don't live in a glass house because I shouldn't throw rocks, and I don't. I'm just saying all of us, man. I mean, seriously, we're fucking up our future. No, worse. I have grandkids, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. Okay, kids, but I got grandkids too. What do we forget about all the back politics stuff saying, what are we going to leave our grandkids? That was going around a little while ago. But reality, what are we going to leave our grandkids? Well, I mean, other people created this system. Other people died for creating this system. Other people have given their heart and soul and and their lifestyle to turn over and make this a system that we were promised. Here's the problem. They're all doing that. What are we doing? We talk about watch parties. Everybody, you go to any football stadium on a Sunday or a Saturday nowadays, or a Thursday or Monday Night Football. I mean, it's almost every day now, right? Which is fun. Great. Football is an awesome sport and all the others. But you go there for a 3-hour game and you basically have just about every stadium's full every single time. Why can't we have a watch party for 30 minutes with our local, I don't know, develop this with us, man. But why can't we do that for 30 minutes a day? I mean, the football thing, we dig, man. It's taking our minds off the shit. What if the shit wasn't there? What if we just spent a little bit of sweat equity and put life back? This is not the way I planned on this show going, but it's true. I mean, I'll get off this subject now because I could feel myself. I'm starting to gain steam. So let's move on here. So I think Dorfman, Mike, is a definite, well, I don't know, surprise me. I don't think he's going to surprise me. I think he's going to bring some awesome stuff, some big time stuff. And, I'm taking a lot of time at this. So I'm going to go through a couple more because I really want to get over the analytics. I want to answer a couple of questions before I do that. So let's see what else we got. We got Mr. Newell, adversary to triumph, beat challenges. This is a dude, he blew my mind when he first reached out to us. And he's a young guy, quite young guy. Well, everybody's young to me at this point, but he is a young guy, and we've had several of them on here. As a matter of fact, Luca, that dude is 16 years old. His brother, his boss, is 19 years old. And they moved to Greece, and now he told me the other day, I think it's 10 meters from the water, Greece. I mean, it's all, you see all the canals and, and all that beautiful stuff. He's like a 10-minute walk from that. And he's 16 years old. My God. And he's been instrumental in certain aspects of what we've been pushing out. It's a very, very smart people, very smart. But like I've always said, AI, man, all this automation stuff and everything, it's the next generation. That's here. Usually it's all right. We're leaving a wake for you. Come on in and make the next step. But this is, hey, we're gonna make the wake for you, Dad and Grandpa. But Dad and Grandpa, you guys got to get ready for it, because I was talking at my bank. They're saying, hey, when are you going to open up and they all watched the show. It's very cool. They're awesome folks. But they asked, as I was walking in, Shweta is my manager, our account, for our account. And when I was walking in, I heard this voice coming over, and she says, hey, when are you going to open up an Insights and Straight Talk business account here with us? Because I've got a couple of business accounts and personal account. And then, PayPal and all that. She wants, I don't blame her. I mean, that's her job. So, and they're a great bank. They're awesome, man. They are a great bank with a great bunch of people. But and then I went up to the teller and he started talking to me about trying to help his mom, who's I think in like 50-ish, somewhere in there. And this is the point I want to make. When you're our age and young, or forget about age. If you don't know, aren't comfortable with the platform or the words or the definitions, whoever's training you, especially because they're probably a son or a daughter or a brother-in-law, I don't know, somebody that's close, because you're like, hey, can you help me out with this? I don't know how to do this chat GPT. By the way, I was talking to him about it before I started talking to you guys. You guys were asking the other day. And I'm going to shut up in a little bit and just answer some questions, because how many are coming in? Okay. Yeah, we're not too bad. I'm only like 8 or 9 behind. What was I saying? So he was telling me, hey, my mom asked me how to do this. And so I said, let's start you off with Chat GPT. That way she can manage her emails. She's got some kids' birthdays coming up and some other things that she wants to send out announcements and, make them all vibe and look, cool. She's got a little artsy flair to her apparently, but doesn't know, artsy flair in the past isn't what it is today, especially if you're sending out to your kids and grandkids. Not that anybody judges. It's you, mom, it's you, grandma, it's you, grandpa, whatever. But, we got some tools and just a little bit of work. Bam, you're into that. Very easy. He said he was driving. It was driving him nuts. He couldn't, because it's like every 15 minutes. I remember when producer Barbie went through that in a bunch of different things. Not quite this extreme of an automation stuff, but it's tough, man. You're trying to make things make sense, and it's a loved one, and you're like, I'm trying to help you here, man. I'm really trying to help you here. So he wants to send her over to the class when we roll it out. So that's cool. Anyway, let's get back to whatever I was talking about. So, excuse me. So this is Soslan. Like I said, he's young. Dude had a heart attack at like his mid-20s or before he's 30. I think he's like 30-ish right now. But through that, well, first of all, coming back, alive, that's a big deal. And that young, man. We haven't got into the whole story yet, but yeah, how many times you heard that story? I mean, I think that's going to be cool. And that one, more than the other one, more than Michael, has a lot more potential to surprise, because I know what Michael's going to say, and I guarantee you, just about everybody here, if not everybody here and beyond, is really looking forward to saying, hey, I want to know more, because, there's a lot of smoke and there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of things that were called, fake news, we're called all sorts of things trying to evade the truth. And a lot of people are starting to discover those things that were called this were actually fake news, right? I mean, so I think a lot of people are going to show up at that one. I'm just talking about myself, so I'm kind of happy about 100 people on here so far, ish. So yeah, all right, guys, that's it. I'm done. Sorry. Oh man, I'm just like inside, just pouring. So here we go. I think let's hit one more. Who do we got? We got Kelvin Green. Snap your fingers and do your step. That's a pretty cool one. But that's a management growing lifestyle. How to become that next level. And then I've got here some analytics. Oh, that's me. So You already know what I'm talking about here. There's like 4 or 5 more that are in my Calendarly. I don't know if any of you know what that is. It's a booking calendar. That's what here at the show we use to have guests that want to sign in or become a guest or whatever. They hit us up, and then depending, we send them a calendar link or ask for more information. Back to, I think it was Jennifer's. Is that her name? Say, oh, hey, Jennifer. Yeah. So that was part of her question too. So Joey, let's move on here. How did you manage to gain 400? Oh yeah, we already talked about this a touch. And you know what, Joey, would you, I'm not looking it up right now. I'm not that bad. Get this, Janelle's. No, I'll show that in a little bit. But in Joey's question there, why did I do shit like that, man? I just messed myself up. So in Joey's question there, how did we do that? So let's see. When's your next morning? You know what, Ronaldo? I asked people, when do they want to have it? I mean, right now I'm kind of thinking about Fridays, every Friday, but I'd love to do every day. That's I would love to do that, you know, an hour, 30 minutes. Give me some input, would you guys? I really would like to know what does make sense and what goes too far. I mean, I could talk every day like this. I can turn a 5-minute conversation into 37 minutes and 6 seconds so far. So I got no problem here getting into that realm. I want to talk about this young lady right here. And I don't know if you can see, again, I don't know if you guys ever see this, this pointer over here. It's a big blue hand or arrow, depending. It's like your little tracker, but it's like an inch long. So let's go here. I'm going to talk about this lady here, and look at this. Okay, let's just start off. All right, so I'm not going to play the. All right, so let's go to your videos. That's part of the clip there, and I'm going to go to analytics. You guys are going to see some stuff. This is what our friend was just talking about in the last 28. Hey, dude, you're right. And actually, look, if you look here, it's actually 62 less than usual. I don't know the answer to that. We're at over 8,000 subscribers now. Watch this. I think this is going to be cool. Let's go for the last 365 days. See this? You see September 17th? That's Constitution Day, by the way. We did that on purpose. Barbie and I were either going to do Grandparents' Day, which is the Sunday before, or the Monday, a week and a day later to this. I think it's only a week. But anyway, we decided to go into and do it then. And look, I mean, here, it was even before. I'm sorry. We were releasing videos here. So, I mean, look, I mean, every day we're getting like 1 to 2 to 5. And then you get into the September area, goes up into the hundreds periodic. There was 800. You see that? 9,000 people on November 14th subscribed to the show. And then come here. This is the part that gets me all fired up. Oh, where'd it go? Come on. 7,000 people, 7,200 people on one freaking day. I don't remember what show that was, but then there's a follow-up to another, you know, like 3,000 here. And then you got a bunch of, can I expand this? I don't know. Content, traffic source. I don't want to get into all that with you guys. It's stuff I get into all the time. It's cool, but it's boring if you're don't have a connection to it. But in the beginning, they were watching all these clips we were doing. So this is kind of advertised in some of those clips. So we go back here to analytics. I want to go to the best performing short form. It's right here. So here, look at this. Okay. Check out what's going on right there, man. I mean, we started airing in September, live streams. All the rest of the stuff before that, we got views. You could see we got views. People were like, oh, that looks cool, this and that. And they started rolling with it. And then apparently, oh man, I'm dropping you guys off, aren't I? Sorry. Anyway, I'll get through this. And so the one thing I want to get to, this kind of blows me away. We're American based, US based. See this here? It's the most recent upload. Okay. Average duration was 53.8 seconds, which is, 12 seconds, which is over half the reel. And like some of my associates say, people make up in the first 5 to 10 seconds, whether they're going to subscribe or swipe. It's a very different advertising metric than certainly I'm used to, but I better get moving here fast. You guys are dropping off like bandits. So I'm just going to go on here and then I'll kind of wind up. But look at that. In the last 7 days, see here? Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the last 7 days, this one short form, what's called the short form, mid form, those are both clips, marketing things for the long form, the actual show. All of a sudden we jumped up here. Look at 1,300 views. That's about 3 times more than our average up to this point. That one clip, 13 new people subscribed because of that clip. That's, I don't know. We're puppy dogs, so every number is a big number. Let me take a second. Have you watched this? Okay. I'm going to stop that because I think I'm having the same problem as before. It looks like I'm streaming so much that I'm starting to get, I'm losing data going out because I'm splitting the streams. Like we're going to LinkedIn now. We're going to YouTube. Obviously, that's what we've been going there forever. We're streaming on X. And Instagram, I'm still screwing around with. That's the one I really want to get on. That's where the young kids are, because I mean, I'm not kidding you. We have people from 18 to 65 or 70 watching the show. And it's like 20% of this young guys, 30. It's fascinating because we're like taking on so many different subjects that's attracting so many different people. And I think we're doing it in a way that people enjoy and have fun with. So, and that's how I have always thought you should learn. I mentioned this, no drum is an interview here. What do you do? How is that? And then the interviewee, meaning in our world, the invited guest, the expert, and then you got to screw around with it because if you're engaged, you're going to take more information out. So, man, it's crazy, isn't it? Look at that. 428 subs in the last 24 days. Sorry, 28 days. Let's go ahead and move on. What changed? I think I talk about a tipping point. Just in everything, there is a tipping point. And what I mean, and you can imagine what I mean by a tipping point, meaning that you're building, and then all that momentum and all that everything starts creating more momentum, and then momentum creates momentum. It's like a rock going down the hill, right? It starts out and then it just takes off, right? Or anything. I mean, a missile, a bullet, you name it, the momentum comes. And that tipping point is when all of a sudden, I mean, we're at 8,000 subscribers. Our next goal is to be at 10,000. But realistically, one of my friends, I call him Mr. M. He was on the show. If you look, he goes by the name M, and he's got the rest of his name. So very impressive dude. He's got like, I don't know, 10 million downloads. Dude's awesome. We did a show, or he invited me. No, he was on my show, and then he live streamed to his audience as well. And we've kept in touch ever since because I don't know, we just kind of connect, and we have the same thing going on. He's getting married in next week, Costa Rica. Dude's cool. Anyway, he and I were chatting, and like him, there's that tipping point, and I think we're getting really close. Although if I keep talking, I got one more. That's good. Flat day today. I don't blame you guys. So what do I want to end with? Let's go back to your videos, and then let's go back to there's community. I'd love to. I told producer Barbie this earlier, but you know what? She's getting a fan club. Oh my God. Look at the comments through the shows, and especially the ones where she jumps in, or, and of course she's in every show because she's part of the intro, part of the outro, and actually the bigger part of each. And but she's getting some followers, man. She's getting some people saying, hey, love the show, especially producer Barbie. There's that coming last week. Somebody, we're trying to remember, somebody came on and said, producer Barbie's awesome. And I'm like, hey, I'd like a little, I'm getting shade here. You guys know that term. All right. So that's it. Would you manage? What changed? I think we got in our vibe, and I think we're getting to the precipice of that tipping point. And I'll tell you what really changed. If you look at the election, the changing of the administration, for months before, and then the election, and then afterwards, obviously we're not any influence on that whatsoever. But out of that, I think the message is starting to be spread. And I think we're ahead of that message. And I think that tipping point is coming from people who are really buying in, not a message we created, although that'd be really cool if we had an influence on that, but be realistic. We were just starting to talk about it, I think, before everybody else was. That's all. Which is cool, because I think that's what changed. I think that tilt from the actual middle class. Hey, folks, there's 300 and some odd million people, citizens in this country. There's probably, 330 million people, citizens in this country. There's probably another 10th, unfortunately. That'd be 30 million. Another fifth that are just sucking our resources. That's another story. But during that, we were talking about all these subjects while talking about AI, while talking about increasing your finances, kind of getting, let's call it a path, a lighted path that our thoughts were, let's all pull together and go this way. This is the things we need to do. And guests were coming on and saying those same things. And so I think we were lucky enough to just kind of be a little early in getting the message out to our audience, our subscribers. And then I think it started being passed on. Hey, you know what? You're right about what you're saying here. You ought to check out Insights and Straight Talk. Those guys are, they're not political ambushers or talking heads or let's skim the top. We are here because it's important. It's really, really important that people start to develop that ability to say, hey, I'll give a few, and not just give a few minutes or 30 minutes a week, but I mean, involve myself and put energy into whatever time to build the momentum, to build the the message to build the come on, guys, I really want to do this. I really want to do watch parties. It was one of the first things that I came up with, and it's gotten no legs so far at all. And I'm kind of attached to that because, watch parties, that, what they are. But this is a political, let's vote. As a matter of fact, producer Barbie is the first person I know out of this conversation with her son, her daughter-in-law, her new grandbaby and coming grandbaby. The Saturday before the election, they all got together and did that watch party. And not because we influence, I'm just taking credit for it. So I'm going to dive on that. Okay. So that's it. That's what changed. I think that momentum of the way the narrative in America changed. The narrative in America is getting back to the American great middle class. We're the backbone, man. Come on, guys. I mean, if you have a bad back, are you effective anywhere? We're the backbone. We have to do our own, rehab. We have to do our own muscle building and our own, we have to earn what our founders gave us. I'm going to get off that now. I'm going on the next question. But seriously, man, come on. My life would be better if everybody was doing this right now. And believe me, I'm not throwing stones because we all need to be doing it, including me. When is your next morning show? Yeah. Did anybody answer me, by the way? Oh, I got a couple. Nope, nobody answered about the show, though. Although I'm getting a couple. This is an amazing show. Cool. Which makes me feel good because we're down to 20 now. All right. I got to wrap up. I got to get out of here. Not out of here. I got to get back on to some of the business side of this. I just have to get in here because I just love it. It's 7 people. All right. I better hurry. I don't want to end with 0. Do you analyze viewer feedback to shape future content? 100%. We look at analytics like what I've been showing you. The people, the subjects, but it's not just the subjects too, because we have a lot of different experts talking about a subject from a different angle. That's on purpose because it's just like I should watch CNN. I should watch the N24, which is a Israeli channel. I should watch MSNBC, Fox News, and whatever other conservative things are out there. And I also watch BBC, the European, which is really, really liberal. But you know what? The whole world sends a message. If you're only watching at a thin sliver of that whole world message, you're not very informed. You're rigid. You're not curious unless you just watch that and go, that's BS, that's BS, that's BS. And you just like doing that. That's excusable because it's entertaining. I would imagine you get stressed quite a bit. All right, moving on. So yes, we do very much and feedback. And Ronaldo was talking about the Morning Joe. That show had, what did it have, Bruno? Like 480 people on it. And great questions. Like today, great questions. But a couple hundred are 3 or 4 times more. So I think we're going to do that, Ronaldo. Well, what's today? Today's only Monday, right? Let's shoot for Friday and we'll work something out. I've got a guest tomorrow. I've got 2 or 3 more guests this week. But especially, I guarantee you this, if we don't have something booked and it's easy to slide that in there, 100%. I'd love to sit back with my my morning coffee and chat with you guys, and it helps all of us. That's the whole idea. Producer Barbie, what do we got here? We have been blessed to have our guests want to share with us their story and experience using AI for an excellent point. To build on how we get good guests back up here, somewhere up here. Anyway, to have guests that share with us their story and expertise using AI for seeking and matching. So we're using the tools we teach and that we are rolling out classes on coming up. We use those tools. And because it's also, I mean, you use it in personal life, no doubt about it, but it's really impactful in business. And then you bring it home and you learn your knowledge or use your learned knowledge there. Primary is about business because that's a big deal. Barbie. All right, what do you got here, Barbie? AI is for our tool matching. That's the one I read earlier before. Last comment here, and then I'm going to jump off. We may make it to an hour again today. AI is amazing in our show. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her for talking about that because right now, everybody coming at us, wanting to, there's still a lot of personal health. There's still a lot of, making who you are that next person, that the person worthy of, you fill in the blank. A lot of historical things, a lot of political and recent events. So, we still do all that, but right now, I don't know, producer, I'd say we're probably 60-40 now, maybe even higher than that, AI 60, and then more, because I mean, all these things are important. AI is kind of really timely because it's running up on you really fast, and that's what we talk about here on Insights and Straight Talk. That's producer Barbie making some awesome points, comments. Ronaldo, great, appreciate as always you being here. And I'm Rodd Duff, and I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.